The last order. The neon sign of a pizza palace flickered above the shop, casting a sickly yellow glow over the empty parking lot. It was 11:45 p.m. in the sleepy outskirts of Lahore, and Samer was wiping down the counter, cursing his luck. The manager, Bilal, had left early for a family dinner, leaving Samer to close up alone. The night was humid, the air thick with the smell of grease and burnt mozzarella. His phone buzzed with a new order, and he groaned. "Who orders pizza this late?" he muttered, glancing at the screen. The address was strange. 13B, Old Canal Road. No name, no phone number, just a note. Deliver ASAP. Leave at door. The shop was supposed to close at midnight, but Bilal would have his head if he ignored an order. Samer sighed, grabbed the pizza, a plain margherita, oddly specific, and headed to his battered Honda 70. The streets were deserted as he rode through the foggy night, the bike's headlight cutting a weak beam through the haze. Old Canal Road was notorious for its crumbling bungalows, relics of a time when the area was posh. Now, it was a ghost town of cracked walls and overgrown lawns. Samer's stomach churned as he approached 13B. The house loomed at the end of a narrow lane, its iron gate rusted and ajar. The windows were dark, save for a faint orange glow flickering inside, like a candle struggling to stay lit. He parked his bike and checked the order again. Leave at door. Easy enough. But something felt wrong. The air was too still, the silence too heavy. No dogs barked, no crickets chirped. He stepped onto the cracked porch, the pizza box warm in his hands. The door was old, wooden, with a brass knocker shaped like a snarling lion. He set the box down, but as he turned to leave, a voice whispered from inside. Leave it, or at the door. Samer froze. The voice was low, raspy, like it had clawed its way out of a throat long unused. He glanced at the pizza box, then at the door. Hello, he called, his voice cracking. No answer. Just the faint flicker of that orange light. His heart thudded, but he forced a laugh. Probably just some auntie too lazy to come out, he muttered, heading back to his bike. As he reached the gate, the knocker clanged behind him. He spun around. The pizza box was gone. The door was still closed, but the orange light was brighter now, pulsing like a heartbeat. Samer's mouth went dry. He should have left, but curiosity, or stupidity, pulled him back. He crept to the door and peered through a grimy window. Inside, the house was a ruin. Dust-covered furniture sat in disarray, cobwebs draped like curtains. In the center of the room was a dining table, and on it, the pizza box. Open. The pizza was untouched, but the cheese glistened oddly, like it was melting under a heat source that wasn't there. A shadow moved across the room, too quick to make out. Samer's breath hitched. He backed away, but the door creaked open, just an inch. Come, or inside, the voice rasped, closer now. Samer stumbled back, his foot catching on a loose tile. He fell hard, his helmet rolling into the grass. The door swung wider, revealing nothing but darkness and that pulsing orange glow. He scrambled to his feet and ran to his bike, not daring to look back. The engine roared to life, and he sped away, the house shrinking in his rearview mirror. But the mirror showed something else, a figure standing in the road, too tall, too thin, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. Back at Pizza Palace, Samer locked the door and slumped against the counter, his hands shaking. The clock read 12:15 a.m. He tried calling Bilal, but the call went straight to voicemail. Charlo, just a prank, he told himself, but his voice trembled. He busied himself cleaning, trying to shake the image of that figure. As he mopped the floor, he noticed something under the counter, a stack of old delivery receipts. The top one caught his eye: 13B, Old Canal Road. Margariter. Leave at door. Dated 3 years ago. His blood ran cold. He flipped through the stack. More receipts, all for the same address, same order, same note. Some were yellowed, dated decades back. The oldest one, from 1995, had a handwritten note: driver missing. Do not deliver. Seymour's hands shook as he stuffed the receipts into his pocket. He needed answers. The next night, Seymour wasn't scheduled, but he couldn't stay away. He told himself he'd just ask Bilal about the receipts. The shop was quiet when he arrived, the neon sign flickering worse than usual. Bilal was in the back, counting cash. "Yeah, what's with 13B, Old Canal Road?" Seymour asked, holding up the receipts. Bilal's face paled. "Where'd you get those?" he snapped, snatching them. "Don't go there. Ever." "Why not?" Seymour pressed. "I delivered there last night. Something's off." Bilal hesitated, then sighed. That house has been empty since the 90s. Some family lived there, big shots. They died in a fire, all of them. People say the place is cursed. Drivers who delivered there, they didn't come back right. Or at all. Seymour's stomach dropped. Then why are we still taking orders from there? Bilal looked away. System glitch. Keeps popping up. I cancel them when I see them, but you know how it is. Orders slip through. Seymour didn't buy it. That night, he waited until Bilal left, then checked the system. Sure enough, another order for 13B popped up. He should have deleted it, but something gnawed at him. He needed to know. He made the pizza himself, drove back to the house, and stood at the gate, heart pounding. This time, the door was already open. The orange glow spilled out, brighter, angrier. Seymour gripped the pizza box like a shield and stepped inside. The air was freezing, despite the humid night. The smell of burnt dough filled his nose, though the pizza in his hands was fresh. The dining table was there, but now it held more than just the pizza box. Old photographs were scattered across it, black and white images of men in delivery uniforms, their faces blank, eyes hollow. One photo showed a man on a bike, his helmet identical to Seymour's. The date on the back read, October 22nd, 2025. Seymour's knees buckled. That was today. He dropped the box, and it burst open, the pizza sliding onto the floor. The cheese writhed, forming shapes, eyes, mouths, hands. A low moan echoed through the house, and the orange glow flared, revealing the figure from the road. It was tall, impossibly thin, its skin grey and stretched over bones that didn't fit right. Its eyes were empty sockets, but they saw him. "You brought it," it hissed, its voice a chorus of whispers. "Stay." Seymour ran, but the door slammed shut. The windows rattled, and the photographs on the table began to burn, curling into ash. The figure glided closer, its limbs bending at wrong angles. Seymour grabbed a chair and swung it, but it passed through the thing like smoke. The air grew hotter, the smell of burning intensifying. He stumbled into the kitchen, hoping for another exit, but found only a rusted oven, its door open, the orange glow pulsing inside. The whispers grew louder, chanting his name. "Seymour! Seymour!" He felt a pull, like invisible hands dragging him toward the oven. He fought, clawing at the walls, but they were soft, like dough, and his fingers sank in. The figure was behind him now, its breath cold on his neck. "You're late," Ayat whispered. Desperate, Seymour grabbed a knife from the counter and stabbed at the figure. It screamed, a sound that shook the house, and the glow dimmed. He ran for the door, which was open again, and didn't stop until he was back at Pizza Palace. The shop was dark, the neon sign off. His bike was gone. He banged on the door, but no one answered. His phone was dead, but the screen flickered, showing a single notification: order delivered. 13B, Old Canal Road. Days passed. Seymour didn't go back to work. He couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Every night, he heard the whispers, saw the figure in his dreams, standing at the foot of his bed. He burned the receipts, but they reappeared on his table the next morning. One night, he woke to the smell of pizza. His front door was open, and a delivery box sat on his doorstep. Inside was a margherita, the cheese forming his face. He called Bilal, begging for help, but the line crackled with static, and that raspy voice answered instead. "Come or back." Seymour slammed the phone down and boarded up his windows. But the knocking never stopped. Every night, at midnight, the knocker on his door clanged, and the orange glow seeped through the cracks. One night, he couldn't take it anymore. He drove to 13B, the pizza box in hand, ready to confront whatever was there. The house was gone. In its place was a vacant lot, overgrown with weeds. But the pizza box grew heavy, and the ground beneath him softened, pulling him down. The last thing he saw was the orange glow, swallowing him whole. The next morning, a new driver at Pizza Palace received an order for 13B, Old Canal Road. The note read, "Deliver ASAP. Leave at door." He didn't notice the photograph on the counter, showing a man on a Honda 70, his face blank, his eyes hollow.